everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you in the flight sim world. This is Viper Strike 95 Flight Simulation, and we are back on leg 15 of our world tour. Yes, we're already on leg 15 of this world tour, and we're back here at Singapore Seletar Airport, Whiskey Sierra Sierra Lima. And today we got a pretty long flight ahead of us, nearly 800 nautical miles. And we're going to be doing this for the first 2 hours of this being in the heavy rain, which, yes, looks like this. It's good to see you guys here. And we got a long one for us. So let's go over our nav map, see what we planned out for today. So we have a decently long flight going with us. We're going to take off from Seletar Airport. We're going to get through to Passenger Gudang. And then once there, we'll be going through much of the Gulf of Thailand and the Java Sea. We're going to be going through all of those places as well. We're going to be flying near the Bornean coast of Borneo. So we're going to be landing here all the way to Whiskey Bravo Kilo Kilo, Kota Kinabalu Airport is going to be our final stop. So we're going to be flying through much of the for the sea for this one. So before we get started, I want to go say hello to those in the chat. Great to see you, Super Typhon. You're always welcome to be here anytime, Super Typhon, a legend. And Simon773, good to see you, Simon. I hope you're doing well. So before we get started, let's go over and let me grab the notes for today's slide. Yes, the weather is nice, it is, but there's actually good reason we decided to put on the heavy weather today. And that's because that is what happened with the flight. It was at April 21st, 2017. Here it is. Here it is. Let me read the notes for this leg. Written by Francisco Gulio and himself. So after a 2-week break, Daniel and Francisco flew back to Singapore to continue the journey. Paul had to ride a couple days ahead of us to ensure everything was okay with the plane. He reconfigured the cabins, and the next flights were planned without passengers, so they installed internal pack tanks in the cabin. For the first flight after the break, the weather was really bad with heavy rain, which is why we have the weather here today is heavy rain. We delayed our departure by a couple hours and sticking close to the weather forecast. They got born. They had the onboard weather radar, so they kept navigating the storm cells. But they were in class for most of the time. 2 hours in the flight, the weather finally improved. 6 hours, they saw Kota Kinabalu, Malaysia in sight. They chose it because avgas fuel was available in the 200-liter drums, which is what they need for the journey itself. They managed to get the avgas drums here at the island. They refueled the plane, and they made local headlines in the local newspaper. So yeah, that is going to be the legs for today. This is just, and the book, if you guys want to know this, it is the legendary DC-3 Around the World. You can get this on Amazon or any of the bookstores online. They have them available. So now we're going to go ahead and get ready to get this DC-3 started. So obviously it's the DC-3 we're all familiar with the cabin and all that. So today we're going to cruise around 9,000 feet today. They're going to be mostly in the clouds. Hello, Devil Dude. Good to see you as well, Devil Dude. I hope you're doing well. Yes, we're going to get this DC-3 started. I've already put the fuel and everything. So everything is going to look good. Left main tank, right main tanks. I'm going to put the mixture up here. I'm going to turn on ground power. Put those lights on. I'm going to go ahead and put them both. I saw your landing today in Melbourne. Thanks. Yeah, that was a part of a long achievement there as well. We're going to go and turn on the engine primer. We're going to turn on the fuel switch pump. We're going to turn on the right starter. So yeah, if you guys want to join in, I'm on the Southeast Asia server. So here it is. So, and we are at Whiskey Sierra Sierra Lima. So, we're gonna press the volume of this. Okay, why is that not? Oh. Allowing the salmon I'll join, thank you. So you're currently at leg 4. Yeah, we got some pretty long flights ahead of us, for sure. Okay, let's see. Let's see if this could finally be the thing to get our DC started. Oh, I need to increase the propeller move. The propeller move. Everything looks good. Making sure I didn't forget it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just. Sorry, it's gonna take me a bit. Just for some reason, this is not gonna start. And left engine started. And we're going to get the left one started. And that is going to be our DC-3. And I think that's enough to start the engines. Yep, I think that's it. We just turn on the battery, turn off external power, and we're going to get ready to get moving. And we're ready to actually get this DC-3 moving. Nice. So, our heading, we're going to take off from runway 21. So, and we're going to climb all the way up to 9,000 feet, actually. So, since I don't have any of that, ironically, and they flew with modern avionics, I'm going to go ahead and set the autopilot. 15 degrees. We're going to climb to, actually, we're going to climb 9,000 feet. So guys, we're about to take off here. Here it is. $80 knots, 56, 80 knots. And we're finally off. There you go. So I'm putting that for the Discord. So yeah, we had to take off here in heavy rain today. It's gonna get quite rainy for the first 2 hours of the flight. Once we get past the rain, we shouldn't have any issues really. Nice, but hey, Eric, good to see you, Eric. Shout out for Eric Flight, another good content creator. Eric, good to see you. I hope you're doing well, Eric. I hope you're enjoying yourself today on this Sunday. So yeah, we are going through quite a bit of rain and stuff today. You doing fine? So yeah, we're going through the rain here today in Singapore. We're going to be doing this for the first 2 hours because that's what they went through, is heavy rain. They had modern equipment to do this, so I had to actually I installed a freeware seer in Mexico. Ooh. Yeah, Mexico's great. I visited Mexico. I think I visited 2 places in Mexico. It was both when I did my cruise and stuff, my cruise to Cozumel and Costa Maya. We visited those 2 places. Definitely pretty cool. Cozumel, we saw a Mayan ball game there in Cozumel, which is definitely pretty cool. But my favorite time in Mexico was visiting those old Mayan ruins, Chacocaban ruins, which is really, really cool to see old Mayan ruins and temples. It's just such a cool place to visit for sure. Last time I was in Mexico was on a honeymoon to Cancun. Ooh, yeah, Cancun's really popular. If you guys never heard of Cancun, Cancun is very, very popular. There's so many things you could do in Cancun. You could do obviously beaches and snorkeling. You could definitely do that. If you don't mind a longer travel, you could tour Chichen Itza. Though if you don't mind a long drive, you could tour the one and only Chichen Itza, the famous Mayan ruins. You can also, according to some of the websites, you can also visit the Tulum ruins of Tulum, catamarans, jungle buggies, horseback riding. I mean, they got a lot of stuff you could do from Cancun. Pretty cool. Oh, yeah, I think I know what our raid's gonna be. Yeah, if I were to guess, we just got a raid from Tuto Murphy. Good to see you, Murph and the Fireflies. I know you were having fun with that rain rocket earlier, Murph. But great to see you all here. It's great to see you guys. From Super Typhon, Musefan, Martel, Quaggy UK, great to see you guys. Hello, Fireflies. It's excellent to see you all again. So, we are doing leg 15 of our DC-3 journey around the world. We just took off from Singapore Seletar Airport, and we're heading our way over to Kota, Kinabalu. Which, by the way, if you guys want to get involved, here's our route. So we took off here from Seletar. We're going to fly into Borneo. So we're going to fly all this time over the sea. And yes, if you wonder why the weather looks like this, it's because we are going through some heavy rain right now. That's what the pilots have went through for the first 2 hours of the flight. Once we cross the 2 hour part of the stream, I'll change the weather to be a little more, to improve the weather a little bit. So guys, thank you so much for coming here, Murph and Fireflies. I know you guys had tons of fun on Murph's stream today. So, it's great to have you guys here. I am I'm actually 3 followers away apparently from 600. So don't mind helping a fellow firefighter admin out for this raid. Toto2495 as well. First time chat, great to see ya. So yeah, we're going through some heavy rain today. Now if you're wondering about this DC-3, hey, X556 is followed. Thank you so much. So if you guys want to know how to get this livery, this livery is done by you can find it on Fights in TO. And another follow from Toto 2495. Thank you so much, Toto, for the follow. What? Wait, the file's been deleted? What? Oh my goodness. So this file is... Oh no. Yeah, the file's been deleted apparently. Oh gosh. I have the link, but it says it's deleted. And finally, 86 Beaver, we did it. It's 86 Beaver the fall. We cracked the 600 followers goal. Yay! We got it. 600, another milestone for the channel. That's awesome news. Thank you guys so much for helping me crack that follower goal. 600, that's definitely a pretty big accomplishment to hit the 600 follower mark. Congratulations, thank you guys so much. So guys, if you do want to join with me, this is a group flight, by the way. You can join me on the Southeast Asia server. Here it is, the server. We're on Southeast Asia today. I appreciate it, Dougal. So we're going to be flying over to Borneo today, so we're going to be in the air for quite a long whiles for here today. So I'm going to go over a bit about Borneo here today. Here it is. I worked on these notes. Borneo, there it is. So Borneo, so why we're going to Borneo today? Well, a lot of people don't know this, but Borneo is the world's 3rd largest island, only behind Greenland, and in the island of New Guinea, which is shared by both Indonesia and Papua New Guinea. Borneo is politically divided into 3 countries. Malaysia and Brunei are into the northern part of Borneo, and the south is to Indonesia. The first European the island's known by many names. Internationally is known as Borneo, derived from the European contact to the Kingdom of Brunei back in the 16th century. But the local population called the island Kalimantan, which is derived from the Sanskrit word Kalimanthana, meaning burning weather, because of its hot and humid tropical weather throughout the island. Most of Borneo is Indonesian, while to the north is mainly 26% is from Malaysia and Brunei, which is what this island is. And the total population of the island of Borneo is 23,053,723 people. So that is the kingdom. That's a little bit about the overview of Borneo. So the geological thing about Borneo was that the island was formed through the Mesozoic accretion of fragments of the microcontinental fragments and island crust to the Paleozoic core of the continent. And it was founded as a promontory of Sundaland, which was partially separated from the Asian mainland through the South China Sea. Before the sea levels rose in the United States, it was part of mainland Asia, forming Java and Sumatra. The upland region peninsula extended into modern-day Indochina. The largest river system here on the island of Borneo is the Kapuas. Hey, Sergeant Staff with a raid. Oh my gosh, we got 2 raids in pretty short succession. Good to see you, Sergeant Staff. How was your trip in Alaska? How was your on-air stuff in Alaska, Sergeant Staff? Good to see you, Sergeant Staff viewers. Oh yeah. This is Viper Strike 95 Flight Sim, and we are heading to Kota, Kinabalu today. So let me go ahead and get some shout-outs. I forgot to give Murph a shout-out. I'm really sorry, Murph, if you're still here. And finally, Sergeant Staff 123. It was scenic. Yeah, Alaska's beautiful. I can't wait to get back to Alaska. So I gave Murph and Sergeant Staff shout-outs. They're both awesome content creators and great friends to the community. So the longest river system here in hello, Uncle B Sim, and hey, let's get Uncle B Sim a shout-out as well. Yeah, let's give Uncle B Sim as well. He's on Xbox. He also does a lot of flights from airliners to GA. He's kind of like me, but on Xbox. So that is Uncle B Sim's channel. So for this, we're gonna go over and Restoring 226 with the follow. Thank you, Restoring 226, for the follow. Great to see you. So the largest river system is the Kapuas in western Kalimantan with a length of 710 miles. Borneo also has some significant cave systems, including the Clearwater Cave in Sarawak, which features one of the world's longest underground rivers. And finally, ecologically, Borneo is extremely important as an ecological hub, and that's because Borneo has one of the world's older rainforests, around 140 million years old, and Borneo is extremely rich in biodiversity. In Borneo, it's one of the main mega diverse regions of the world in terms of biodiversity. It's home to tons of animals, including 15,000 species of flowering plants, 221 species of mammals, and 420 species of birds living here on the island. And it's extremely diverse. It's also famously the home of the Bornean orangutan, one of the most iconic animal species from the area. So very, very important as well for a lot of animals to live. So yeah, we have a baby orangutan picture. Because, you know, orangutans are really cool. So that's going to be a bit of the notes for now. So that's going to be what for all the notes for right now. Like I said, we have such a long flight ahead. We're about 8,000 feet. We're getting very close to 9,000. I'm going to go ahead and start leading the tanks a little. We're going to go auto lean. Yeah, we're going to go auto lean the tanks so I don't burn really as much fuel when we get up higher in altitude. We don't want to burn all that fuel. So great to see you guys as well. A bit of upcoming stuff. So, I really wanted to show you guys something that I think you guys are going to be excited for. I think you guys are going to be very, very excited. So on Wednesday, I'm actually going to do an achievement flight, but it's not just any achievement. We're going to actually be doing, we're going to be doing my own achievement as well. You're going to be needing to lurk. No worries. No worries at all about lurking. No worries, Sergeant Staff. See you back soon. But no, the big thing I want to show you is we're going to be doing this achievement on Wednesday. And yes, you get to hear this right. I created this achievement. It's my first achievement. I'm proud of it. We're going to be flying the New York Yankees baseball team from their spring training location here in Tampa. And we're going to send them to, head them back to New York City. So we're going to actually land at LaGuardia Airport since it is the closest to the Yankees home ballpark in the Bronx. It's the closest one, so we're going to land there. Which is going to be really, really exciting as well to do a flight from Tampa to LaGuardia. And that's going to be fun. And I did this for, because opening day is coming up very, very soon. I'll talk more about the Yankees and all that sort of stuff on Wednesday stream, but I just wanted to show you there's already a few people who did this already. So yeah, it's going to be the first of many achievements that I have worked on. What plane? The plane I'm in, it is a Douglas DC-3. But for that achievement, I'm going to be taking the 737-800. It's going to be in the Delta livery. It's going to be a Delta Airlines 737-800. And I'll be taking that for that flight because Delta is the official airline of the New York Yankees. So we'll be taking that Delta 737. So we're gonna be checking out a bit about the Yankees and all that. So flying along with me today, we have Simon 3773 with us. Simon's with us. Appreciate you flying along here with us today. So let's go ahead and place. Yes, Coastal Royalty, it is kind of raining out here today. According to my flight notes, they said they went out heavy rain for the first 2 hours of the flight, so we're going to be going through some bit of rain. So yeah, it's been heavy rain. So we're going to be cruising through that. Hey, good to see you, Planet Neutral. Actually, speaking of shoutouts, here's Coastal Royalty as well. And of course, one of my absolute closest friends too, and someone who actually gets what I am, Planet Neutral. Check out both their channels as well. Planet Neutral, great to see you. We're flying our way to Kota, Kinabalu. Yes, the weather does not look good out there. It's been raining heavily all day, so we're gonna have to 2 hours of flight. So we're still having to go through that as well. Um, so we have also some other stuff going on as well. So let's talk about some of the news or something. Let's see if there's any more information. So bit of stuff going on as well. So I probably could load up a quick quiz game or something like that. So I got me a quiz game to kind of, we're gonna play some, we're gonna play some, we're gonna actually do some pretty interesting things as well. We're gonna do some pictures of the 20th century again. Some of these are kind of controversial, so be careful. But we're gonna be doing a quick game sort of stuff. Just like I said, we're gonna be in the air and long. So here we go. So let's start with this one. The top left picture, this is one of the worst events in human history, the Holocaust. Led by Nazi Germany, that is one of the worst examples of modern day genocide history. Then we have Nelson Mandela. He was freed from his prison back in South Africa in 1990, and with the negotiations between the ANC and the South African government, it marked the end of the apartheid government in South Africa. Then this picture here, it is the Titanic. In 1912, if you guys never know about Titanic the movie, but Titanic is actually a very well-known ship. Hey, good to see you, Kazaki Flyer. Actually, guys, you guys should definitely follow Kazaki's streams. Definitely check him out and give him the support as well. Kazaki Flyer is a great friend of the community as well. Then we have the fall of the Berlin Wall. And that is the Berlin Wall is officially, is the fall of the Berlin Wall. In 1989 is that fall. Then we have the Gulf War. The original Gulf War, Operation Desert Storm back in 1991 after Iraq annexed Kuwait, the U.S. coalition got involved and led to Operation Desert Storm. Next one, I bet you guys know this one. One of the most famous events in the modern day aviation. Yes, the Wright Flyer. the first powered flight in 1903 by the Wright brothers in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. First ever attempt of a heavier than airplane flight, and it sparked everything else, which is pretty cool. This image here, it is Rosa Parks. When she refused to sit by another patient's seat, she stood still. She got arrested because of segregation, and she helped spark the modern-day civil rights movement of the 50s and 60s. And I think we know it's one of the other dark days of American history. JFK's assassination. JFK assassination. President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas. By Henry Lee Oswald. And you can actually, in Texas, here's a funny thing you can do in Dallas. You can actually visit where JFK got shot from. The hotel where JFK got shot from is now a museum. I kid you not. Then, of course, we have D-Day, Operation Overlord, when they do the landings here in Normandy, 1944, throughout the beaches of northern France. Led to some very brutal fighting in the Second World War. Then, of course, this next one, it is the Great Depression. It is the Great Depression when the Wall Street crashed in 1929. Wall Street crashed, and it caused the Great Depression. And it didn't just affect the U.S., that depression. Though this is a flight scene. Good to see you, Virtual Gamer. I'm bringing this stuff up because I'm a historical kind of guy. I'm doing a quiz, and I'm just telling you guys what all this stuff is on this thing. Then we have Man on the Moon. And that is the Apollo 11 moon landing. Everyone probably knows this. Then we have the next one is the Vietnam War. Definitely some brutal fighting in Vietnam. It was very brutal. And we got Tiananmen. Then we have Tiananmen Square in 1989, the Tiananmen Square protest. Then we have World War I. This was the first. There's supposed every streamer does things different. No one's being forcing you to be here if you don't like it. Yeah, exactly, Dougal. I'm a historical kind of guy, Virtual Gamer, and I like history and stuff. So. The Cultural Revolution in China is the bottom right, and I believe, if I'm thinking this correctly, is it the 19th Amendment? No. I wonder what that meant. Streaming a long-born flight tonight, says Kazaki. Nothing to fear except weather, ACAC Searchlight Night Fighters. Oh, you're doing a World War II recreation thing. Yeah. I'm gonna give up. Oh, Margaret Thatcher, the first female British Prime Minister. Oh, that's Margaret Thatcher. Oh, crap. Whoops. So yeah, that's a little bit about history and stuff. I just wanted to do a short quiz. Something to pass through this time. We're going to be in the air for about quite a few hours, so I'll be doing these periodically for every single one of them. So yeah, Virtual Gamer, I'm just doing, I'm trying to pass this time because it's And I love history. I love quizzes. I like to get to know more about the history of the places and all that. Kind of bit of my channel. I love history itself. I just love learning. Always know what to do. So yeah, if the water looks like this, it's not good. It's we are around 710 nautical miles left to go for this flight. So we do not have much time left, so we're good. I'm going to check my fuel so I do not forget to see how much fuel I have. I have 84% on the main tanks left to go. Thatcher. Yeah, Margaret Thatcher. Definitely someone who's also had a pretty controversial legacy, though. I mean, Thatcher's controversial. And like I said, I don't want to talk about politics, but I'm just being honest. She had a pretty complicated sort of thing. She had plenty of controversies and all that sort of stuff with some of that. So. But yeah, Delta is that as well. So in terms of sports stuff, I do want to talk about. So for sports, we already got the Final Four. We already got 2 of the 4 teams in the NCAA Final Four. In our bracket, it's hard to believe this. We already got 2 Final Four teams already for March Madness. We first. First is UConn, the 4-seed UConn Huskies, won their region and now are in the Final Four. And here's just as big of a surprise. In only their 2nd ever tournament appearance, 9-seeded Florida Atlantic is already in the Final Four. 9-seeded Florida Atlantic. Now, some context about this. Florida Atlantic only has been in 2 NCAA basketball tournaments. Dusty May took this team to the Final Four. I mean, it was absolutely one of the most insane, crazy runs I've seen. I mean, that just shows you, it is March Madness for a reason, guys. I kid you not. Whatever happens, Microsoft gives the big picture of what happens in history. I like the daily grind of flying history. Exactly. You like highlighting the daily grind. I like to get the big picture of what happens and all that sort of stuff. Like I said, if you really want to go to the nitty-gritty, there are so many other people who are more specialized with history that have way more knowledge than I do. I'm just giving you what it looks like in the big picture. I try not to be too controversial or anything like that. So that is going to be a little bit about that sort of stuff. In other sports news, opening day is going to be coming up very, very soon for baseball. I can't wait for opening day for Major League Baseball. It's going to be coming. It's going to be coming March 30th. Is going to be opening day, which is going to be the first game of the year. Is going to be the Yankees and Giants. It's going to be the first game of the year. I'll talk more about baseball sort of stuff when we get to Wednesday. I'll give you my predictions and everything. as well. But I'm hoping this year is going to be pretty good for the Rays and Reds. So I'm cheering for those two. So that's going to be coming up. Yeah, you're pretty uncontroversial, bud. Yeah, exactly. I'd be very careful. Like, there's so many people you meet online, you need to be careful. Like I said. So for aviation sort of news, let's see some aviation stuff that's going on. So Nigeria, let's see. I'm looking at Simple Flying. Let's see. Nigeria Air is doing Nigeria Air is the new national airline. The new flag carrier for Nigeria is going to happen, and they're going to be beginning service at the end of May of this year. So Nigeria's going to have a new national airline, their own flag carrier. It's the first new one since 20 years ago. Which I definitely think is going to be pretty interesting as well, to have a homegrown national carrier, which I think could be good. Considering Nigeria probably is a great idea, especially compete against like Kenya Air, Ethiopian Airlines, and all that sort of stuff. It's great to have. Let's hope it does succeed. So that's going to be pretty interesting, a new national carrier. So that's kind of some things. Try to look for some aviation stuff. So some pretty cool stuff to know about it. So let's see some. So it says here on Simple Flying here, I'm looking up, so the airport of the month according to them is Las Vegas Harry Reid, Kilo Lima Alpha Sierra. That was Harry Reid Airport. It's one of the most, one of the busier airports in the country as a result. One of the busier airports in the United States. Oh, and here's some interesting things about this airport. You can actually get a marriage license at the airport, I kid you not. You can get your marriage license. That's pretty funny, but I mean, it's Las Vegas. They also have its own slot machines, I kid you not, like I said. Here it is. Here it is. Some 10 things you may not know about Harry Reid Airport in Las Vegas. There's some really cool stuff. It's about their airport. So here's a couple of facts about this airport that a lot of people don't know about this. It's actually been known by quite a few names. It was originally named McCarran Airport. It's named after Senator Pat McCarran and McCarran Field, but then they rechanged its name in 2021 to name it to Harry Reid after Senator Harry Reid, who passed away in 2021. There's also a museum in the airport, the Howard Koenig Aviation Museum, which dedicates the commercial and GA history of that in Southern Nevada. And in fact, yes, I said this earlier, but yes, there's Kansas City. There's actually gambling machines in the airport. There's 1,400 of them. 1,400 slot machines. Yes, you can actually gamble here at Las Vegas Airport. They also have their art exhibits and stuff too throughout the airport. They also have a full gym and stuff too. If you pay $25 for all-day pass, you can actually get a full day in the gym. You can get a gym, work out, and then get ready to fly from a gym. Pretty cool. So there's that. And then you can also take a walking tour in the airport. So you can do a walk tour and stuff and tour around all the different parts of the airport. And also located in the fitness center is actually rooms that you can sleep and rest for some rest before getting ready for your flight. For up to 2 hours of rest. There's also children's play areas as well. And even a pet store stuff too. Yeah, that's pretty cool that this airport actually has some pretty cool stuff. So yeah, who would have known they have slot machines worth $1 billion? So the original one for the month for January is Denver International, which is one of our handcrafted airports in the sim. Well, I killed myself several times in the sim on typing. Oh boy. And here's Denver, which, first off, Denver Airport for January is absolutely massive, like 52.4 square miles. It's only the airport where Riyadh, Saudi Arabia is bigger. But it means with such a big airport, it can expand for the future. Denver has its own art gallery. In fact, it's the largest, and its art gallery is very unique. You find all sorts of paintings, murals, and all that. Also, Denver has outdoor patios as well. In the western end of the concourses A and B, so you can do outdoor stuff and spot planes, which is pretty cool. In the summer, they got a miniature golf as well. They got a mini golf. They got park in the plaza with mini golf, lawn games, and more. And during the winter, they even put ice skating rinks because, you know, it gets cold. LOL. Yes, I've been in King Denver. I've never been to Denver though. I've never been to Denver International. That's pretty cool. There's a squad of 80 dogs that are CATS, which is Canine Airport Therapy Squads. They have canine therapy. Oh, in that roof you see in KDN, that iconic tinted roof, it's actually inspired by the Rocky Mountains that are all throughout Colorado. There's also lots of conspiracy theories throughout the airport. So yeah, there's a lot of conspiracy theories about this airport. There's also there's supposedly there's a time capsule in it. And apparently, in add-on to the conspiracy theories, 14 different planes had cracked windshields at the airport on February 16th, 2007. They had different cracked windshields. They said it would maybe foreign object damage, but pilots said they saw nothing. So again, Denver is a weird place of mystery. And finally, Denver has grown the most. Denver has been one of the busy. It's grown to be a very busy airport since the pandemic, actually. Since the pandemic, Denver International's grown a lot since the pandemic. In fact, it's just in 2022 had 69 million passengers, making it the third busiest airport in the world in Denver. Crazy. Denver's really busy. So yeah, that's just some bit of some topics I want to cover. Like I said, we're going to be in the air for such a long time. I'd love to visit Denver and the Rockies. Yeah, I definitely want to check out Denver as well. I mean, my airport at home flies to Denver. But yeah, Denver's a massive hub. So I wanted to ask you guys in the chat. So I hope you guys have had a great weekend so far. I hope you guys are enjoying the weekend. I know I bet some of you guys have pretty cool plans for the weekend. For me, my weekend is I've currently been working on my research for Judd Wilson for my volunteering. I'm gonna get most of it done on Monday. Yeah, doing the Lincoln Highway would be a dream. Great weekend so far. Best you spend time with family. Nice. That's awesome, spending time with the family. That is really, really darn cool for sure. Yeah, I'm still just getting things done for the Judd Wilson stuff. Hey, a follow from R2 Simmer. Eric Toon, sir. Good to see you. Thank you so much for the follow. I hope you're doing well. The Lincoln Highway. The Lincoln Highway, the first transcontinental highway in the U.S. Back in 1913, it crossed through quite a bit. It crossed through from New York to San Francisco. So the route, it went from New York to Philly to Pittsburgh to Chicago, all the way to Omaha. I know some parts of it went to Denver, but it goes through goes through quite a few states. But yeah, they went through there. They went to Salt Lake City. They went to Reno, Carson City, into Sacramento to San Francisco. So yeah, that's the Lincoln Highway. It also spent some time in Indiana, mainly in Fort Wayne. An hour of my weekend has been stolen. Oh no! Oh no! That's not good. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn left. I'm gonna go ahead and check my fuel. Doing pretty good. 77. Doing quite good. %. That is quite good with the auto lean. Hey, Paul from Pt.1. Good to see you. I am flying the stock DC. I'm flying the stock DC-3, but for the autopilot, I'm using a little bit of a cheat thing, but I'm actually using Flow to control the autopilot since there's no altitude hold, because the one they flew in real life was a modern avionics cockpit, so I had to make an adjustment for that. But yeah, it is the classic version. So good to see Hypatia Tulip. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well and having a great day. So yeah, what a great day to be streaming for sure. We got quite a bit of accomplishments with quite a few followers as well. That's pretty awesome as well. So the plans for this upcoming week, it's going to be on Wednesday we'll be doing that Yankee charter flight. We're going to do that Firefly Air achievement, my first achievement. We're going to be heading from Tampa to LaGuardia. Then on Friday, I'm still working on the final plan. We're definitely taking the Antonov AN2, but I'm in a tough predicament. I do want to check out the Caucasus a bit, like the Caucasus Mountains. So I definitely want to check them out for a little bit as well. But I also do want to go to Eastern Europe, like Bulgaria, or the Balkans. That would be. So I'll give you that one on Friday. And then next Sunday, after we land in Kota, Kinabalu, we're going to be heading to Nag. It is actually Laog in the Philippines. We'll be heading back to the Philippines. We'll go through the island of Palawan in Puerto Princesa. Famous for its underground river. Very famous for it. So that is what we're going to be doing. I'll need a week to adapt. No worries. My weekend's been really good, Coach Royalty. I've just been working on some volunteering stuff. I'm doing some research notes for a player that played in the Negro Leagues or the Black Baseball Leagues back in the 20s to 40s. His name is Judd Wilson. He's part of the National Baseball Hall of Fame back in 2006, and he was one of the best hitters to play in those leagues with a career of 352 batting average. With over 1,000 hits and 77 home runs during his time in the Black Baseball Leagues. And those are his official career statistics, by the way. And the reason I say it may not look a little low is because back in the old days, there is not much record keeping back in those leagues. Especially, this is also considered the 1920s, and not many people know about those leagues. But he was part on many teams, but mainly he played for the Baltimore Black Sox throughout the 20s. And then for most of his career, he played for between the Philadelphia Stars and one of the greatest teams to ever play black baseball, the Homestead Grays as well. But it's very, very cool to learn about Judd Wilson. So, just continue to go through all this. So I got another slide for you. Let's go ahead and get another slide done. Let's talk about some of the conservation issues in Borneo. So why is Borneo facing so many conservation issues? That's because a lot of the area is logged extremely heavily. There's tons of logging all over Borneo. And that's because a lot of it, there's large demand for these materials from the industrial countries, as well as the conversion for agricultural purposes, mainly palm oil, which is used in a lot of stuff, mainly food manufacturing and beauty products. So that's a pretty big issue, and that's bad because that takes away some of the wild areas for the wildlife to live in, like the rhinoceros. So that's a little bit about Borneo's conservation issues. So yeah, that's a big issue into Borneo right now. So as of right now, checking through the navigation, we're about 620 nautical miles out from our destination. We have around, let me check, 620 divided by, so, according to this, about 3.5 hours remaining. Just ETA estimations, we're going to be around 3 more hours at the same time. Hey, good to see you, Infidel Fireman. Howdy, howdy. Good to see you. So we're currently right through the heavy rain so far. Once we reach the 2-hour mark of my stream, my flight time, and when I get near 2 hours, I'm gonna go change it back to more of an overcast. So I'll change it to overcast, and we'll get some. Hopefully, we'll get to see a little bit of Kota Kinabalu. So we'll be doing that for the rest of the trip. I'm gonna go ahead and check fuel again. Let's see, the fuel is looking pretty good, 72%. Yeah, everything's looking pretty good. So we're gonna get, so let's see. Yes, Mount Kinabalu is one of the few mountains in all of Borneo that does get snow. That's very much correct. Let's see. Let me go ahead and set up another quiz. That's history. Let's do another quiz. Let's do actually a sports one. Let's do. Let's go with. Let's do. Sorry, let's get. Let's do. Let's do this one. Okay, so we're gonna do NBA basketball. If you guys are not knowing about this, if you're in Europe, you may not know it. It's okay. This is the National Basketball Association. This is the main professional sports league for basketball, and these are some of these players are very iconic players today. Some of them have legendary careers and all that. So there are 50 players in 10 minutes. Can I guess them all? Hey, good to see you, Grey Dog. Yeah, the scenery is not looking good. It's rain. But that's actually what they had to go through for the flights. So I had to recreate this. My youngest would crush this. Oh yeah. Okay, let's start right about that guy. I believe it. Let's go. This guy here, the second guy, is Larry Bird. Legendary Larry Bird. This one is obvious. That's Michael Jordan, the GOAT. That is the GOAT, Michael Jordan. Of the Chicago Bulls. Everyone should probably know Michael Jordan. This was one of the bad boys of the Pistons. He also played for Jordan. That's Dennis Rodman. Then we have one of the greatest players to ever come from Canada. Suns legend Steve Nash. Then we have longtime Timberwolves and Celtics legend Kevin Garnett. I think that. No, I think that's that. Yeah, that's. I believe that was John Stockton. John Stockton, the legendary Jazz point guard. This guy, that must be Charles Barkley. Yes, everyone should know Charles Barkley from his NBA TNT. This. That is Peru. Then this guy is LeBron James. LeBron. This guy is probably Bill Walton. Yeah, that's Bill Walton. I think that's Bill Russell. Won 11 NBA championships for the Celtics, by the way. Bill Russell, one of the all-time greats. That is the greatest San Antonio Spur of all time, Tim Duncan. Then, of course, this guy here is the longtime wingman of Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. And then you guys know this guy as well. This guy here, he played college ball at Louisiana State. drafted by the Magic, but he is known as one of the most feared big men in history, Shaquille O'Neal. And then rest in peace, number 24, the Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant of the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't know about him. Okay, this one's Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk Nowitzki. But that's Dirk Nowitzki. Oh, it's Dirk Nowitzki. This is the Chinese prodigy, Yao Ming. He was drafted by it's Yao Ming, born in China, 7'6". Massive dude. This one is the greatest Miami Heat player of all time, Dwayne Wade. Oh, there's no DE. It's Dwayne Wade. Okay. This is Indiana Pacer great, Reggie Miller. He did this to Spike Lee. This guy. This guy is Allen Iverson. AI. Then there's Syracuse legend, Carmelo Anthony. This one is net star Jason Kidd. Yeah, that is the logo man himself, Jerry West. This guy here is Dave Robinson. No, that's not Kinabalu. Okay, I believe this guy's Julius Erving. Yeah, that's Julius Erving, that Dr. Dre, Dr. Irving himself. That's Gary Payton. No, I know that guy is. That's Detroit Piston legend. That's Isaiah Thomas, former Indiana Hoosier and Pistons legend Isaiah Thomas. Are you accepting help? I don't mind help. This is Kevin Durant of the Thunder and Warriors, KD. Let's. Like I said, the NBA is not something I know too well. Let's see. This guy is Gary Payton. Gary Baird. Let's see. This is Rajon Rondo. Okay. Yeah, that's David Robinson, the Admiral. This one is definitely Hakeem Olajuwon, the Dream himself. I believe this guy is Richard Jefferson. Or that, actually, that might be Mike Hill. No. Oh, I think I figured it out. It was Ray Allen, the legendary shooter Ray Allen. On this one, let's see. I don't mind help. Oh, last row. Last row, Patrick Ewing. Whoops. Okay, let's get this one. This one's Chris Paul. Kevin, one of those guys could be Kevin McHale. I don't know. It's hard. Third for the right, third row is Patrick Ewing. Oh yeah, that's Patrick Ewing. Yeah, the longtime Knicks legend Patrick Ewing. I'm sorry if I'm getting these right. Like I said, NBA is not the sport I know so much about. Baseball is something I'm much more. Okay, I'm gonna get these guys wrong. Well, I tried. I did my best. Okay, I got 21. Oh yeah, that was Will Chamberlain. That's that guy right here, Will Chamberlain, to the top left. There is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, two of the greatest big men of all time. Oh yeah, Magic. Oh my God, I was such an agent. Magic Johnson, I should have known. That was Magic Johnson. Oh my gosh. Rick Barry, Oscar Robinson, played from Cincinnati. Chris Webber, that was Gary Payton. Karl Malone. Again. Paul Gasol, Paul Pierce, George Gervin, John Havlicek, Clyde, Dwight Howard, Bob Cousy, Moses Malone, Dikembe Mutombo, Dominic Wilkins. Oh. I'll get it right again. Yeah. That's pretty unfortunate. I got that. Hello, Kingsman. Good to see you. Sorry I wasn't going to chat. I was busy doing this quiz, so I apologize if I don't see you guys in the chat. I was just looking at that quiz. Thanks for your help, Planet Neutral, like I said. So we're about 564 nautical miles to our stop here in Malaysia. So we're doing quite well, guys. So, So we're getting pretty close to doing it. I'm gonna go ahead and check the fuel again. I'm just checking my fuel so that way I know when to do it. It's a habit of mine that I sometimes forget to do, is check the fuel, because you know stuff like that does happen. Just try and catch you in the beach model, but I must pay attention to those temps. I forgot how realistic that plane can be sometimes with the Beechcraft. Yeah, that's more understandable in that Beechcraft. But yeah, like NBA is something I'm not super knowledgeable. I'm much more knowledgeable with the other stuff. Okay. So I do have a baseball wall. Your beach can reach the DC speeds easily. Yeah, but he's also trying to be careful not to fly and hit anything. So, and I guess we do have another. That was a little weird. Latency things going on. So one more quiz for a little while. 8 minutes for baseball. So we got Major League Baseball stadiums. Oh boy. So thankfully, Viper should probably know this a lot better. So we have all the teams. So we're gonna play the quiz and see if we can name each of the stadiums. The first is the Arizona Diamondbacks. They play at Chase Field. Since 1988, their original season. Then the Braves play one of the newer ballparks, Truist Park. Then in 1990, the Baltimore Orioles have been playing at Oriole Park at Canham Yards. It was the first of the retro classic stadiums we built back in the 90s. Then the opened back in 1914. We had the White Sox playing at Garrett. They play a guaranteed rate field. The White Sox used to be called Comiskey Park, but now it's been a guaranteed rate field. The Reds, since 2013, played at Great American Ballpark. At Great American since 2003. The Guardians, formerly known as the Cleveland Indians, play at Progressive Field. Used to be called Jacobs Field. The Colorado Rockies have been playing at Coors Field since 1995. At a mile high, literally a mile high, is where the stadium's at. The Detroit Tigers played at Comerica Park since 2000. Replaced Tiger Stadium. It opened up the same year. Is Minute Maid Park. It used to be called in-run field before the whole in-run thing happens. The Kansas City Royals play at Kauffman Stadium since 19. They play there. Capacity 57,000 people fill up Dodger Stadium. The Marlins play at Lone Depot Field. Oh, it's Lone Depot Park. Yeah, Lone Depot Park. The Milwaukee Brewers have been playing in American Family Field in Milwaukee. The Twins are playing at Target Field. That's been their home since 2010. The Mets play at Citi Field. And the Yankees also play at the third Yankee Stadium. This is the third one they've built. The Athletics are playing at the Oakland Coliseum. It's now known as the Ring Central Coliseum, but that stadium is the worst in the league. It's terrible. It's a terrible ballpark. The Phillies play at Citizens Bank Park. Citizens Bank Park. Citizens Bank Park. The Pirates play at one of the nicest ballparks, I think PNC Park, with the beautiful view of downtown Pittsburgh. The Padres play at Petco Field, Petco Park. The Giants play probably the best ballpark in the league, AT&T. It's Oracle Park. In 2000, one of the nicest stadiums in the league. The Mariners play at T-Mobile Park. This is going to also be where the All-Star Game is going to be held this season. The Cardinals play at Busch Stadium. The Rays play at Tropicana Field. They're home since their inaugural season in 1998, but the stadium was actually completed for 8 years earlier. They were trying to get a major league team, but failed. The Rangers played at the newest stadium in the league, Globe Life Park. Globe Life Field, the newest park. The Blue Jays play at the world's first successful retractable roof Major League Baseball stadium, the Rogers Center. And the Washington Nationals play at Nationals Park. So that is it. So that's going to be the last quiz for a little while. So that's going to be... Okay, so that's going to be a little bit of streaming. So just for a little bit, yeah, we don't have any close airports within us. Like I said, it is the rain, so it's gonna clear. you. Yeah, I'm getting slow around here. Gotcha. So... just seeing anything else I can do, so... why don't we go outside here, and... again, there's not much scenery, but I'm gonna probably let this play out for a little bit. Eight minutes to weather change. Gotcha. Yeah, 8 minutes, and we're going to change the weather. So it's going to be overcast, but at least we can actually see something. So it is going to actually happen. So then we can start taking more pictures. Go ahead. So if you guys want to actually get involved, I do have my Discord as well. I have a Discord if you guys want to check that out. So, and I put my VODs in my own channel. Here it is. Check that out as well if you guys are interested in wanting to check out my channel. for more content and updates. Yeah, yeah, there are islands in my flight path. We haven't passed them yet, but we are. But since it's due to the weather, we can't really see them. We did pass through a few islands a little bit earlier, but we'll get back to them pretty soon. So. So we're now just about 500 nautical miles. We're getting there. Like I said, it's a DC-3. It's going to take a while. And similarly, it's going to be the same thing for next Sunday's one, which we're going to enter into the Philippines. That would be just as fun. Yeah, lots of volcanoes would be seen. Yeah, they're gonna be cool. Okay, so now the weather has improved, so it's about 2 hours, so we're going to change to overcast. So the weather has now improved, and now it is overcast. And the water is starting to clear a little bit. It's now clearing up. The water has improved. The heavy rain's gone, and now we have we have some scattered clouds. So the clouds are starting to improve, and now we have scattered. There we go. Yes, we can actually see stuff now. So now the water's starting to finally clear up, and we can actually see some stuff out here. So we have now got to actually see stuff for our leg. Here for the first time all stream. Yeah, you can now see the emerald blue water from here. We have Simon in the air. Now we have overcast. Thankfully. So now we can finally actually see some stuff. For once. We're actually located here. We're on the Real Archipelago. We're part of the little archipelago. We can see the little tiny island of Subi Bazar Island to our left here. And then to our right, we have quite a few little small islands here. And we can also look the same thing for our right side. You can actually see some islands here too. You can actually see all the places here. Very, very cool. In terms of fuel situation, we are around 56%. We're doing really, really well actually. With the fuel situation, everything's been looking pretty good. So everything looks good, guys. I says world update Indonesia would be possibility soon. Yeah, Oceania's got a world update. That's gonna be like Papua New Guinea, French Polynesia, Micronesia, and Hawaii are coming soon in World Update 13, which would definitely be very exciting. Well, so yeah, it'd be pretty exciting to go check out all those places when we do get here. I mean, what a beautiful, it looks beautiful now. We got all the islands coming up. Very, very nice. So I'm gonna refill. I'm gonna get a refill for my drink. So I'll be heading right back. I'll just be right back in just 1 second. So. All right, just had to get a quick drink before we get back. So we're doing really, really well. So I'm going to go ahead and continue on with my slides. I feel like this will be a good time. So let's talk about the history of Borneo, shall we? So Borneo has quite a bit of a history. Apparently, some of the oldest known painting from Borneo was around 40,000 years old, located in the cave Lubang Juriji Salea in Borneo. But according to ancient Chinese, Indian, and Japanese manuscripts, the western states of Borneo had been trading points by the first millennium AD, and in those manuscripts you can find gold, compor, tortoise shells, hornbill ivory, and more were described among the most valuable items from Borneo. The Indians named Borneo Suvarna Bhumi because it is the name of the land of gold, because they actually found quite a bit of gold from the old times in Borneo. As well. And the Javanese named Borneo the island of Puradvipa, or Diamond Island. And a lot of archaeological finds found that the area was a thriving center of trade between India and China from the 6th century until 1300. Stone pillars were found here dating around the 4th century, constituting some of the oldest evidence of Hindu influence in Southeast Asia. By the 14th century, Borneo became a vassal state of the Majapahit, which is modern-day Indonesia, which is located right now in present-day Indonesia, and later changed to its allegiance to the Ming Dynasty of China. Arose in that time was the pre-Islamic Sulu known as Lupa Sung, stretched from Palawan in the Sulu archipelago to the Philippines to Sabah in Borneo. The Sulu Empire later rose as a rebellion in reaction against the former Majapahit imperialism against the Sulu, and when Islam entered beyond the 10th century, the Sulu became Islamic. The Sultan of Brunei declared independence following the death of the Majapahit emperor, and during its golden age, the Bruneian Sultanate, which is based on modern Sultan of Brunei, by the way, ruled over the entire coastal area of Borneo, lending its name to the island due to its huge influence. And the Sultan of Sulu was founded in 1457. Unfortunately for them, the Europeans came around in 1511 when Malacca fell. Portuguese merchants traded regularly with the island of Borneo, especially with the Brunei Sultanate. After Brunei's capital, the Portuguese described it as a place that's surrounded by a stone wall. And while Borneo was seen as rich, the Portuguese did not make any attempts to conquer it. But guess who was there also? Yes, the Spaniards did. The Spaniards were very much involved in the island. And the Spanish attempted to conquer it as part of New Spain, and the Spaniards led to the Castilian War. Visited Brunei to lead to the Castilian War. And then the British got involved in 1609 with the Dutch in 1644. And this led to some issues between the English and Dutch until into the 19th century, where they finally settled, and they actually split Borneo into two. So the north became British, part of British Malaysia, and the southern part of Borneo is part of the Dutch, for the Dutch East Indies, which later became modern-day Indonesia. So the Sultan in Borneo ceded his ports to the English East India Company. At the beginning of the Dutch exploration of the island, they described the island of Borneo as full of headhunters. Those indigenous also practiced cannibalism, I kid you not. Then the Dutch intervened in the southern part of the island, resuming contacts. They deal with quite a few rebellions. The Sultan of Brunei drained large parts of the land and saw back the English explorer James Brooke. And northern Borneo became part of the North Borneo Charter Company by a German businessman and adventurer named Baron von Overbeck before it was passed over to the British. And then we get to then the area in southern Borneo was made a Dutch protectorate in 1891. The Dutch, who already claimed the whole Borneo, were asked by Britain to delimit their boundaries, so they actually did so in the Madrid Protocol of 1885. As well, however, during World War II, Borneo was involved when the Japanese invaded the Dutch East Indies in Malaysia. From 1941 to 45, they occupied most areas of the island, and the occupation drove many people in the coast towns to the interior searching for food, but mainly to also escape the Japanese. And trust me, the Japanese were absolutely brutal. They were brutal during that time. Led to a lot of killings as well. Then, after the Allied forces liberated the islands from the Japanese, Borneo went mostly its own independent path, as well. And a lot of people were asked if Borneo should be included in a proposed new country. Indonesia should be separately determined based on the desires and follow the disposition of Malaya. And that caused some tension and issues between Malaysia and Indonesia. The southern part of the island achieved independence in 1945 as the proclamation of Indonesian independence. Sukarno, the president of the new republic, perceiving the British trying to maintain their presence in northern Borneo, launched the confrontation into Borneo, and that lasted from 1962 to 1969 until it was ended. There was the confrontation. And eventually that was settled with the Kinabalu Commission, which settled it all. So, and that ends up with the history of Borneo. So just a little bit about Borneo's history, and that's the history of the island. And of course, we have the amazing Sky Command. How you doing? Hope you're doing very, very well. What is a steam gauge often are we flying today? It's not a steam gauge, it's a Douglas DC-3. Yeah, there's so many gauges. Oh, trust me, DC-3 isn't bad. It's not that bad. It's a classic DC-3. The second largest is Deer Cave. Yes, Super Typhoon. Deer Cave is located here in Borneo. It's located here in Sarawak. Which, by the way, is to our right. It's quite a bit to the right in the land of Sarawak. But yeah, Deer Cave is known locally by the local people as Gua Paeu or Gua Rusa, because deer like to go, because it's called Deer Cave because the deer like to lick the salt-bearing rocks and shelter themselves from the weather. But the first people that actually charted this cave was by a Royal Geographic Society, RGS, in 1978. Initially did a survey of 100 measurements of a 571 feet wide and 400 feet high in one section, but they passed through in 2009 2.5 miles of the cave and even more so as well. Currently, the length of the cave is so far 7,090 feet or 2,160 meters, with a height variation around 645 feet. Is the second largest cave passage in the world. The only one more is actually in Vietnam. So Don Cave. It's actually Hong Song Doning Don Cave. It is the largest. It is the largest cave passage in the world. And apparently it was actually found back in 1981, and it was located in Vietnam. And it's the largest cave in the world by volume. Pretty crazy stuff. But it's an enormous cave. It's huge. But the one deer cave, yeah, is also big. And a lot of people do like to visit the cave and stuff for tourists. They do like visiting it, but it's a huge cave. Massive. And apparently you can find all sorts of bat species. You can find 12 of them in this cave. Like the cave nectar bats, the lesser tailless roundleaf bat, and even the naked bat can be found here. And you can also find a lot of deer species making their home here in the caves. So yeah, found by a random farmer, and I watched this nice documentary. Cool. All right, I'm gonna check my fuel situation on 49% with the main tanks. Okay. Oh, yeah, I had disconnection issues. Yeah, I had OBS connection issues. Whoops. Yeah, apparently, Steam crash? Refresh. Yeah, I had that today. Yeah, that's weird. Now I'm muted? That's weird. Really? I guess I'm gonna have to restart the stream then. So is anyone else still having the mute issues? So is anyone else still having muted issues?